Construction projects are inherently complex, influenced by a myriad of factors that intertwine client requirements, design intricacies, and construction processes. Historical challenges like cost overruns, delayed timelines, and quality concerns often stem from this complexity. Organizations grapple with technological advancements, cultural dynamics, and financial constraints, all while navigating procurement methodologies that can significantly alter project outcomes. Effective procurement is crucial, especially for large-scale endeavors, as it aligns project objectives with sustainable practices. Management agents play a vital role during pre-construction, guiding design teams and allowing clients to adapt their visions. Ultimately, the procurement strategy selected can determine a project's success or failure, impacting profitability and client satisfaction. Listeners, today, I will focus in complexity in construction projects. The construction industry has become highly complex due to many reasons, including the need for meeting the requirements of the clients involved in the construction project in an efficient manner. Construction projects have often been referred to as being highly complex, but there is no specific explanation of definition that can be provided for the complexity. Considering the historic performance of the construction industry, the project's success in terms of overall costs and run-over time, the quality of the work has been considered as very poor. Often, poor performance in the construction projects has been attributed to the design and construction processes being highly complex. Complexity has been often used as a common term when discussing construction projects. An organization may face complexity in projects in many areas, including O. Technological complexity, O. Organizational complexity, O. Cultural complexity, O. Environmental complexity, O. Financial complexity, construction projects, and procurement technique. There are various distinctive ways to deal with procurement of products, services, and mechanism, all of which can bring about various results. Procurement methodology is about the decisions taken in figuring out what is to be conveyed by a specific contract, the procuring and contracting courses of action, and the way the auxiliary procurement targets are to be advanced. Construction procurement techniques are most appropriate to substantial, quick-moving tasks where early finishing is an attractive option. The choice of technique for procurement relies on a high level of certainty and faith. There is no definite contract cost before the work begins at construction place, and the choice to proceed more often than not needs to be tackled on the premise of an assessment. Contractual operators are the specialists of the customer and ought to accordingly put their intrigues first all through the venture. A construction procurement procedure can be created for a solitary venture, a system of undertakings, or an arrangement of activities to recognize the most ideal method for accomplishing targets and worth for funds, at the same time as considering dangers and limitations. Construction procurement procedure is the mix of the conveyance managing system, contracting game plans, and procuring game plans for a specific procurement. It requires that various decisions produced using the accessible alternatives, and these can be utilized to interpret a system or an arrangement of ventures into a progression of bundles for conveyance under a solitary contract or a bundle request issued as far as a structure understanding. Decisions are made by venture goals, in particular, the purpose behind carrying out the task, and in addition, more extensive social targets. It is a favorable position to name the management contractual agent at an early stage, so that their insight and mastery are accessible to the design group all through the pre-construction period. Much of the point-by-point designing work can be left to continue separately with the site operations for some work bundles. Along these lines, lessening the time required before the task begins nearby. The customer has an impressive level of adaptability on design matters. The design can be balanced as construction continues, without relinquishing cost control. Venture goals should be converted into procurement goals. Procurement goals may identify with either the deliverance of the item, essential targets, or what can be advanced by the deliverance of the item. Auxiliary goals. Essential targets regularly identify with spending plan, quality/execution, rate of deliverance, ecological well-being and security perspectives, buildability, connections, such as long-lasting relationship, early temporary worker inclusion, combination of configuration and construction, and so on. Customer association in the construction task, end client fulfillment and support and working obligations. The secondary goals ordinarily identify with the advancement of manageable improvement goals, which usually identify with the targets, including easing and diminishment of destitution, minimizing of the destructive impacts of advancement on the local surroundings, foundation and fortifying local construction resources and strategies, advancement of construction innovations that build job, advancement of expanded utilization of ecologically solid products, construction resources, and building advancements, likely issues, and wider implications to the client described above in procuring the building. Construction procurement exercises help the customer in acquiring skilled building facilities. The architect will get ready proposals or demands for proposition or capabilities for backing the choice, transaction, and contract granting procedures. In many undertakings, construction procurement outputs are bundled with different architectural facilities, for example, outline, construction reports, or building contract facility. Customers at times regard construction procurement as a distinct administration. In traditional methods, this decision had been based upon such an undertaking. Nowadays, the need for construction procurement facilities is expanding with the inclination for optional deliverance strategies. For example, construction facility and design. The expansion in construction cases and suit, and the related patterns for expanded control of expense and quality have put further stress on the construction procurement procedure. Customers need to guarantee that construction contracting agents are very much skilled, that facilities are acquired for practical price, and that their venturing contracts are structured rightly to minimize the potential for unreasonable changes and postpones. According to the Chartered Institute of Building, the committed 6 categories are the selection criteria for taking up the procurement strategies for any construction project, including leadership of client, quality of design, integration and procurement, health and safety, sustainability, and commitment. Some major issues linked with present general procurement directives include tender necessities customized to go well with a particular national supplier, or pressurizing the suppliers to utilize locally available subcontractual agents, legalistic ways to deal with communal procurement, false rivalry, where universal biddings are welcomed, yet there is little aim of granting a contract to a non-nationalized business, segregating contracts into little parts to stay away from point-by-point procuring regulations. Value compressing to make the remote rivalry out of a business sector, especially when the government has a significant stake. Preference for countrywide suppliers, even when the remote bidders are accepted to present improved worth for cash. Coaching flourishing bidders on the site of industrializing for a contract. Though procurement is a part of a project, it is the heart of project, which can play the major role for profit and loss. So procumbent strategy is one of the main pillars for successful completion of the project. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Stay tuned